I let my freelance writing business fail for years by not doing this review. So here is what you must know before every single year so you don't let your business down or let it fail like I did. I'm Mandy Ellis and I built a 6-figure freelance writing business, and now I help other writers hit 5-figure months with dream clients without the burnout, stress, and overwhelm. I'm going to walk you through this review. So we're going through all the questions you need to ask, goals, how we're going to put this thing together so that you can do a business review and find the holes and the mistakes and the opportunities, all the good stuff. Now, you might have seen this one already where we went through our clients, our projects, our amount, and our pricing. And you might have also seen this one where we went through our LOIs and all of the spreadsheet that we have with our client data. We're going to use that stuff in here as well. So the first thing we're going to do is go through that SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. If you're someone who's never done an annual review, give me a thumbs up. I want to know how many people have been struggling to actually do this annual review and really need this document to help them walk through the things they need to look at, the data, the elements, the tracking, the goals, all that stuff. So if you have not done an annual review before, give me a thumbs up. You're going to do that in your entire business. So what are the strengths of your business? What are the things you're doing well? What are the things you're noticing? This can be both data driven or, things that you like the feeling of this thing in your business. It could be weaknesses that you're looking at where you're like, hey, I fell off the marketing wagon, or I really need to improve this type of writing skill, or I need to look at different types of ways to learn this thing or that thing. Then we're also going to look for opportunities. What are the things that you missed? Were there things that you could have taken advantage of that you didn't? Were there opportunities that you didn't realize until you started doing these other reviews? Then we're going to look at threats. Now, threats are not other writers, okay? They are your comrades. They are your buddies. They are not your competition. Threats can be things like, hey, if I don't fill my marketing pipeline, if I don't feed the Tamagotchi and send out those LOIs and pitches, then we're not going to have a business, right? If I don't have money and clients, the writing part doesn't even matter. Threats can be mistakes you made or repetitive issues that you've had. It's not outside threats. It's things that could end your business or things that could be causing you to continue to struggle. You also want to make sure you're looking at professional growth. What was your professional growth like this year? Are you feeling good about that? Feeling like it needs improvement? Do you need to look at your financial goals? Did you hit those? What were the things that were important? And especially when we're looking at finances, make sure that you're also looking at effort. This is a big thing that freelance writers skip all the time. They focus on how much money did I make, but they totally forget that there's a lot of effort put into actually making that money, doing the writing, doing the marketing, speaking to clients, fixing your processes and systems and workflows. And just a number by itself, hey, I made 55K this year. That's not enough to tell the whole story. So when you're looking at financial goals, I don't want you to be beating yourself up. I want you to really be looking at where could we improve, where are the things we could fix, and how much effort did I put in? Did I really do the needle moving activities every day to move my business forward? Then we're going to walk through what was our typical work day? Did we like it? Did we not like it? Is the vibe good? Am I the worst CEO ever? These are the most important pieces that we have to put together, because it's not just did I make money and have clients? It's also is my business actually fun to be in, or is it drowning me? And were there dreaded activities? Almost everybody's like, I don't want to do the marketing. I get it. Sometimes it can feel like a slog. Sometimes it can feel like it's never going to end or you're never going to get a client, but we need to make that fun. So there's certain activities we have to do that maybe you do dread them, but we need to kind of shift how we're going to move around that. Is there some other way that we can get the marketing done? Maybe we don't like sending LOIs. Maybe we like doing calls. Maybe we like going to conferences. Maybe there's some other way that you like to connect with clients, but really looking at the activities you dreaded can help you figure out, hey, this method doesn't work for me. I'm going to go do this. This other thing isn't working for me. I'm going to try that. We can also experiment with different things. So through this SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, that can be really helpful for getting that big overview picture of your business. Then I want you to look at your proudest business and personal achievements. These are things that people skip. They're just like, my business was good. I had clients and money. No. What were you most proud of? Why were you most proud of that? How did that help you excel? Did it give you motivation? Was it something you didn't think you could achieve that you did? And then you're going to look at the actual functioning concrete framework of your business, the processes, the systems, the tools. Were they actually helping to lighten the load when it comes to mental space or time or energy or effort? Were they dragging you down? Were you not putting those things in place so you can get your time back, so you were spending too much time on admin? How did you track that data? This is another one where freelance writers skip this. They don't track the data. They just send stuff, or they just keep going and they aimlessly move through. Yes, they have money and clients, but it's not in a way that's scalable because they don't have any data that they're tracking across their business. That's why we did the LOI spreadsheet review. And we also did the review of your clients and your projects and your pricing. But we also want to look at ways to fix this for monthly and quarterly improvements. This is something that we're tracking throughout the year. So if you didn't track it every month and every quarter coming up. And then this is a really kind of deep one. Where do I need to forgive myself, let go of something, or stop doing right now? This is a hard one sometimes because it requires you to do a bunch of self-reflection, to go deep, to not get into self-blame or other types of mindset stuff. It really helps you look at like, hey, I'm really trying. Or maybe it helps you look at like, hey, I didn't really try. I need to let go of the idea that I was doing all this stuff and I really wasn't. I was kind of circling around and not really doing anything. So this can be a really powerful question for moving forward and giving yourself space to grow without beating yourself up, but also being real with yourself on the things that you really didn't do consistently enough, or you avoided because it was scary, or you were worried about judgment or opinions of other people. And then the last one here is what's still viable in this coming year? Based on the data, based on all the stuff you just looked at, what's still viable for you to continue? What are some things that are still working? What is some new information that I now know from looking through these other questions that I can move forward with in the coming year? So I think the best way to look at what's viable is what are your clients telling you? What are you getting from interacting with clients? What are you getting in terms of projects, and what kinds of budgets are they working with? What are their revenue ranges? What are the things that your clients are telling you? Like, that's the most important thing, because everybody's clients are different and they will say different things. Some clients are like, yeah, we're going all in on case studies, or other ones are like, we're going all in on video. And you have to have those client calls, you have to have those conversations so you know what's going on. And for me, I think since freelance clients can be quite different depending on niche, that viability is really important to tap into through those conversations you have on calls, or the things they say when you work with them, or the things you notice from sending your LOIs. I mean, freelance writing is still viable in the coming year. I always talk about how we're the cockroaches of business. We have survived through all these things, every technological advance, every internet thing, all the SEO, the AI, all the things. We've survived all those things. And things shift too. So, for example, there's a lot of writers who are getting work from AI rewrites. So, companies tried to go all in on AI, it blew up in their face, and now they're paying full price for writers to come in and actually write great copy. So there's a lot of things in freelance writing that are definitely still viable. There are lots of projects, I think, moving more towards strategy, or kind of adding maybe a workshop element and then going into creating the content can really help you get more intel for what's viable from your clients and help them create better content in the coming year. But that viability is really deep, coming from your clients and the information you're getting now. And if you want to learn more about what is still viable, what are those top clients driving at? Where do you find them? How do they look? And what do the stats actually back up versus just what's the chatter in the universe of freelance writing? I want you to take my free masterclass. If you go to mandyellis.com/free masterclass, you can hop right into my Feast and Famine to Fully Booked masterclass, where you will learn how to actually get away from feast and famine, what those top clients are looking for, how you can attract them, what things you need to do to highlight your skills, and how you can actually book up your schedule for the coming year. So if you go to mandyellis.com/free masterclass, you can hop right in and enjoy taking all the notes and have actual tactical action steps to move forward. Then we're going to do like our forecasting. So what are the goals? And keep it to 3. So keep it to just your top 3 goals for the coming year right now. What are we going to do in those top 3 goals, like overarching? And what are some strategies you're going to take to achieve them? Really get granular here. I think this is important when you're doing your end of year business review. not only we're looking at the data and the things that happened last year, but your dreams, the things that you would like to achieve, the things you're moving towards. But we need to ground that in reality of what strategies are you actually going to use to do that. The strategies do not have to be perfect. This is you taking what you've just learned from your business and thinking about what kinds of strategies can work moving forward based on what you've already done, based on experiments you want to try. So don't judge yourself here. Don't make it too complicated. Get as granular as you can, but don't go nuts. And remember, with just 3 goals for now, we don't want to make this too big, and we can adjust these. So every quarter you can review these goals and be like, hey, goal number 1 is not going to work for me anymore. I need to change it. And what are some strategies I can put in there? I think these overarching goals, based on what you've done and based on where you want to be, that kind of plugging those 2 things together can make them really powerful. And we don't want to have 10,000 goals. That's not achievable, but 3 is a really good way to do it. And if you have dream clients, what are those dream clients that you would like to pursue? Who are they? Why do you want to pursue them? Are they things that, are they business clients? Are they magazines? Are they opportunities? Maybe you want to be on podcasts and do more interviews to get more clients that way. Maybe you want to do more speaking. Maybe you want to start a newsletter. Maybe you want to do more social media stuff on LinkedIn or Instagram. So I think mixing these things, like what are your dream clients? Where are you going? What are some things that you really want to move forward to? And also, what are some other opportunities that you want? I think that these, get real clear on them. And before we get into tracking all the clients and doing all the stuff and me walking you through why you need 2 different versions of this and how that can be helpful, if you have liked this so far, if you have found this data-driven piece helpful or this review helpful, make sure to subscribe. I walk you through the tactical, actionable, practical stuff every single week, and I help freelance writers make more money and actually learn who their diamond clients are. This isn't just like spray and pray. I'm actually walking you through what they look like, how this actually works out, what you should do, the things, the big mistakes that freelance writers make, and most importantly, the things that they skip. So if that sounds great, make sure to subscribe. Then we're going to track things the whole year. So January, February, March, every month we're coming back to this sheet because you likely haven't done this before. So next year when you do this review, you take this part of the sheet and you use it as data for the top part of the questions that we went over here. That's why we include this in here. So we have this tracking element in here. We are looking back at this last year. So this last year, we're going to go through it and then duplicate it for the coming year. So what that means is put in all the January stuff. What happened in January 2025 or 2024? Put that in here. What happened that year? Now we're going to duplicate that stuff and we're going to go through, okay, what happened in January 2026 or January 2027? So we have the past stuff that you did per month and the current stuff so you can track it by month and then put it in this review. This is a really powerful way to look at like how many hours did I work and how much free time did I have? Did I have any white space in my business to have creativity time, or was I working all the time? What was my monthly rate? Like what did I average in monthly income, or did I want to hit $1 a word per assignment and I hit 85 cents? Did I have a plan for my marketing, or did I just kind of spray and pray and hope for the best? What work did I do? What was that work? How much did I get paid? How much time? Was it a few days? Am I tracking hours? Did I actually enjoy this? This is really important. So when we have this, right, from this past year, then we have the upcoming year. Those 2 things together, when you do your next year business review, is really powerful. It lets you see your progress. It lets you see if you're increasing your rates, or you are being more efficient with your time, or you're actually moving more closer to your goals, or you're actually happy with your work and your clients. I think this gets lost a lot because people get stuck in the everyday stuff. Do it once a month. It'll take you 5 minutes. Go through this in 5 minutes. You can fill this out and move on. And this is something you can do every single month for the upcoming year. And you have so much rich information about your clients and what you're working on and your goals and the progress that you're making. And you can compare those 2 years back to back together when you do a review every year. And if you want to go back a few years, you can do that too. So if you're going back after this review after a few years, you can really see the progress. And spending just a handful of minutes makes all the difference. This year-end review doc, I think, is really helpful for you to move forward, to understand the whole picture of your business, where you're going, where you've been, what your data says, what are your goals, what are you driving towards, why are you doing that, and also combining the things that are both personal and are you working on your business that are effort driven. And if you're someone who wants to learn more about that, if you're someone who wants to learn more about effort driven, I want you to make sure you watch this video below.